Kellen, can you, Mike was saying when he retained you as offensive coordinator, as far as just kind of building the bridge and making a fusion of what he wants to do offensively and what the team had done. Can you walk us a little bit through that process, how that's gone and how different and in what ways this offense will be a little different going forward?
Yeah, I think it's been a fun process just to go through it. Obviously, me being a younger guy going through this, having the opportunity just to learn from Mike and kind of build a 2020 Dallas Cowboys offense and pull pieces from stuff we've done in the past, pull stuff from Green Bay, and quite frankly, pull stuff from all the rest of our coaching staff. We got a really diverse group who's came from a bunch of different places. And so I think it's kind of been a fun offseason, a unique offseason with all the circumstances, but fun nevertheless, being able to kind of piece it all together.
Kellen, where have you seen Dak evolve the most from last year to this year, and where do you want him to take the next step before the season starts?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to command and presence. Him knowing what he wants to do and go out and do it, and recognizing where the defense is at, how they're trying to attack us, and how he can attack them.
Kellen, how much contact did you have with Dak during the offseason before you got together? And were there any kind of side sessions you guys had, and how you played catch up to try to get him up to speed with some of the changes?
Yeah, I mean, Dak was going through the business aspect, so certainly I wasn't talking to him probably as much as a traditional offseason. More checking on him just as a guy. Knew he was kind of taking care of business from a football perspective and a business perspective. But, since the second he's kind of gotten back into the fold, you can tell he's been prepared. He's been spending the whole offseason getting ready to roll for this thing.
Hey, Kellen, what's the most difficult aspect of putting in a new offense when you haven't had the guys running on the field?
I think it's just the communication and language. You adjust a few things here and there. There's a lot of carryover. There's going to be things that inevitably change. And you just got to get guys on the same page so that they play fast. I mean, it's one thing sitting on a screen like so many of us spent the spring doing a virtual program, but, it's 11 guys being on the same page, talking together, kind of being in sync, and they just got to come out there and do that through this training camp.
Is the fun part of this figuring out how to get the ball to your three main receivers?
Yeah, certainly the three receivers, and we got a crew, and it's a lot of fun. They're all really versatile, which is fun. As we build this thing, obviously we're in a install phase right now, so you're going through more concepts, introducing things for the first time really on the field. But once we continue to build this thing, get all accustomed to each other, I think that's the exciting part about this. Those guys can line up anywhere.
What are your early impressions of Lamb?
Yeah, I think CD, obviously, everyone sees the talent. Everyone knows the talent. Everyone's watched plenty of Oklahoma through the years. But I think it's being a really smart football player. He has a great feel for the game. There's a lot of instincts in him that just come naturally. And so hopefully we can build on that, and we're really excited for him.
Hey, Kevin, give us an example of him being a smart football player.
I think it's just, watching him, a lot of this, we're seeing him do so many of these things for the first time. And there's not, there's little subtle, minor tweaks here and there, but a lot of it, he just kind of gets it the first time and has some great savvy so far in camp of just understanding situations as we start getting into situational football, being in the red zone, being in third down situations. You can just tell he's got a knack for it and understanding of what we're trying to accomplish.
Kellen, what's the cute quarterback room been like? Obviously, you played in games against Andy Dalton, you played in games against Scott Cholzine, and then you guys had Seneca Wallace in there and Doug Nussmeier. Just kind of, what's it like behind the scenes with that group, mostly younger guys?
Yeah, awesome room. A lot of fun, a lot of guys who've been around football in a lot of different places. And so, anytime you're in a situation like that, you want as many different people talking, many different experiences talking through these things, because the more feedback, the more different exposures you get, I think the better you become. And so we've all been enjoying it, talking about experiences that everyone's had in different things. You install a play. Someone may have, hey, we may have done something a little bit different, talk about it, understand, oh, man, that's a really good idea, or you see where they're coming from, or take yourself into situations that guys have been in the past. Obviously Andy's played a ton of football. Seneca's being in there. Scott, Mike being in Green Bay. I think we just got an awesome group.
Kellen, with this offense, this personnel, would 70-30 pass run ratio represent balance?
70-30. Whatever we need to do to score points. We got some good running backs, some good receivers, and we'll see what defenses do to us, and we'll try and attack them in one way or another.
the benefit of the quarterback school that you guys open practice with, and take us through what you're aiming to do in that segment.
Yeah, I think it's just the opportunity to get the fundamental aspect before you get with the whole team. Just because once you get with the whole team, QBs are usually with running backs, receivers, the O-line, whatever it may be. And so it's their chance to kind of do their own individual work. And we go through obviously the fundamentals, the drills, but then you get to put yourself in situations where we let the QBs be a part of it. Maybe it's a 2-minute drill. Maybe it's just going through situational, going through concepts that we're putting in that day. When you get those opportunities, the more we can just continue to rep that stuff, the better we're going to be.
Andy mentioned
Kellen, going back to the quarterback room, when you have that many coaches in there, how do you structure it? Is it more of a free-flow conversation, or do you have to put some more structure to it, and you have guys just talk about certain points as they come up? Or?
Yeah, I think certainly there's a system to it. Nuss really runs the quarterback meetings. I obviously do the offensive installs and stuff, so we kind of install those plays as a whole group. But when we're in quarterback meetings, for the most part, Nuss is going to run those. I'll be a part of them. Mike's obviously a part of them when he can be, and then everyone else is in there. And the goal is it's free flowing. Nuss is going to keep us on schedule and do all those good things. But we want people talking. We want people talking, going through stuff, giving experiences. Hey, asking questions, and the more people talk, the better we're going to be.
How important was it for you to call plays again this year?
Certainly love calling plays. It's been fortunate to be part of it last year, and obviously with this situation, I'm really excited about it. And it's another opportunity to be around a guy like Mike, who's done it for a long time at the highest level, tons of success, and a guy that I can ask a lot of questions about this process. And certainly we've continued to do that. And it's been a lot of fun.
Hey, Kellen, sorry to skip ahead to game day. Just not sure how much of a chance we're going to talk to you before the season opens. But in regards to game day logistics, how's it going to work with, you're going to have Scott up in the booth, or is Doug going to be down there with Dak and the QBs? How do you see that all working out logistically?
Yeah, obviously I think we're still kind of working through that a little bit. The beauty of this thing is we're going to try and get a couple trial runs through this August, put ourselves in some situations that make us feel like games, and then we'll kind of see what best suits us ultimately for game day. But obviously, it's important to have people up there that can see it and can give you feedback. And so whether that's Scott or Doug or whoever it may be up there, certainly you value when you have those people up there, because you can't see all 22 at all times, and you need some guys up there to help you.
Considering Mike's history, and you mentioned the play calling, the success that he's had, the wins he's had, is it tough to be in that shadow and knowing that he's right there watching over everything?
No, I think it's a great opportunity because he's able to give me feedback through this process. Go through 2-minute situations. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I think really that's how games go. Is we're in constant communication, talking through scenarios, situations, talking between series. And then hopefully, we talk enough through those processes that allows us to play fast when we do have the ball.
Kellen, Travis Frederick retired in the offseason. What do you need to do to replace him, and especially from a communication standpoint? Even if Joe Looney has experience, how do you make up for what you don't have in Travis now?
Yeah, it's the communication. Travis obviously ran the show in so many ways. Really, you can't say enough good things about Trav. Obviously, we all love him. But yeah, fortunate to have Joe. He's been a part of this for a while. He does a tremendous job, awesome job. We got some other younger guys that were brought in for a reason because you think highly of them. But also Dak's continued to grow. And so obviously this is another year on his belt, and I think he can help with some of that communication as he continues to grow.
Kellen, what were you thinking
How do you and Mike kind of build-
when you're watching the draft and you see CD falling and thinking that, obviously there's the chatter that you guys might add him, and then you guys do add him. Just what was going through your mind when that happened?
Yeah, we're all hoping. We're all hoping that it would go that way. Obviously, from an offense perspective, a guy like that's sitting there, it's pretty awesome and pretty rare opportunity for us, and hopefully we take advantage of it.
Kellen, since you don't have any preseason games this year, and building that rapport with Mike on how to call a game, is there any way to duplicate that, or is there anything you two have kind of set up to kind of work through that process to get that communication in that quick of a intense of a situation?
Yeah, I think it's just as many conversations as we can have as possible. Each game, each practice, kind of, talking through the scenarios, talking through, getting feedback. Hey, we like this, maybe we didn't like that. And then obviously, as this thing gets past a little bit of the installation phase, try and put ourselves into some situations that maybe feel as much as we can like a game, maybe scrimmage type settings where we can get into those situations and just get through the mechanics, because obviously it's a whole new staff, not just Mike and myself working together, but really the whole group working together, and so we all got to do it together.
Time for about one more.
Blake obviously will be highly involved as your guys' top tight end, but when you guys are in 12 personnel, who do you envision as that secondary tight end?
Yeah, we got a nice group. We got the other Blake. We got Schultze, we got Cole, we got Sean, Charlie, the guys we brought in this year. So we got a nice crew there, and they all got a little bit of something different about them, and that's the beauty of that group. They're all versatile. They can play in the backfield, they can play tight end, they can go split out and play receiver, and we've asked them to do all those things, and they'll continue to do it. So as this thing plays out, let it play out, and we'll see which guys ultimately kind of fit those pieces, and we'll try and use as many of those guys as we can.
All right. Thank you.